Hi everyone, this lesson goes over algorithms that can be used to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. So the first way is called improper fraction algorithm. As you can tell from the title, we will first have to turn all the fractions or mixed numbers into an improper fraction. For 6 1/3, we will multiply the whole number with the denominator and add it back to the numerator. And that gives us 19/3. And for 5 3/4, we also multiply the whole number with the denominator and add it back to the numerator, which gives us 23/4. And we will follow what we have learned from the previous video. For 3 and 4, the common denominator will be 12 because the two numbers are relatively prime. That means you want to turn 19/3 to a denominator of 12 and 23/4 to a denominator of 12 as well. To turn a 3 to 12, we multiply by 4, so we do the same thing in the numerator and we get 76. We will multiply by 3 with 4 to get 12, so we do the same thing to the numerator and we get 69. Now let's rewrite the question with the common denominator, which is 76/12 minus 69/12. Like the addition example, we will also just subtract the numerator and keeping the denominator the same, which gives us 7/12 as our final answer. Let's go over the steps for the improper fraction algorithm. The first thing you need to do is convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. Then you will find the LCD of the two denominators using the division method. 3. You will convert the fractions to a common denominator. And the last step is to subtract the numerator and keeping the denominator the same. The last thing is, whenever possible, always simplify the answer. So just want to quickly talk about the advantage and disadvantage of an improper fraction algorithm. When you're using improper fraction algorithm, you will always guarantee that you can subtract the fraction because you always have enough in the numerator. However, you might end up dealing with bigger number because you have to convert the whole number into a fraction. So in our case, as you notice, we were dealing with 76 and 69. The next algorithm for subtracting fraction is called the borrowing algorithm. In the example given below, we have 2 1/2 subtracting 7/9. The first thing you should do using this algorithm is find the common denominator of the two numbers. So the LCD of 2 and 9 will be 18 because they are relatively prime. And then you will convert both fractions to a denominator of 18. For the half, you will have to multiply by 9 to get 18. So you're multiplying by 9 in the numerator to get 9/18. To turn 9 into 18, you times 2, so you times the 2 with the 7, and you get 14. Now let's take a look at the numerator. We have the 9 and we have the 14. Notice how the first number is actually smaller than the second number in the fractional area. So we have to borrow from the whole number to subtract the fraction. How do we do that? So we need to borrow from the whole number so we have enough to subtract the fraction, which you will borrow 1 whole. So the borrow 1 will turn our number into 1 whole, and 9/18, which you have to turn this into an improper fraction by timesing the 1 with the 18, which is the whole number with the denominator, plus 9, which gives us 27/18. Since you lent out 1 from the 2, you only got 1 left over, so we have 1 and 27/18 as our borrow fraction, subtracting 14/18. And now all you need is to subtract the whole number with the whole number and the fraction with the fraction, which brings us 1 whole and 13/18 as our final answer. The most important and challenging part right here is the borrowing. So let's just recap on what we did. You need to observe the first fraction right here and see if that's enough to subtract the fraction underneath. If not, you need to borrow 1 whole from the whole number. And once you borrow the number, you will turn that fraction into an improper fraction. Now let's write the steps down. The first thing we need to do in using the borrowing method is to find the LCD of the two fractions using the division method. And then you will convert the fractions to a common denominator. The third thing, which is the most important step, is to observe your numerator and see if there's enough to subtract If not, you need to borrow. Once you borrow 1 from the whole number, you need to convert that borrowed number into an improper fraction. The last step is to rewrite the fraction with the borrowed number and subtract the whole number with the whole number, numerator with the numerator, and keeping the denominator the same. Okay, that's it for the lesson.